Okay, so we got this down. This is 10-5, day 2, and we're looking at area of a regular polygon with radius shortcut. I have not shown this before. It is not in your notes. We're doing these notes old school, okay? Just remember, when I was you, I had a teacher that had this vendetta against students. You're going to fill one of those 70-page college-ruled notebooks back to back in 3 weeks. And you're going to write every time that we're in here. It's not because your writing was big. It's because that's how much information they went through every class. Okay? I wanted more time for you guys to do practice. That's why we do what we do. Now, here's the thing. Let's look at this. Area of a regular polygon with radius shortcut. If you're provided a radius on Tuesday, I showed you how to use that radius to find the apothem and use that radius to find the length of the missing side. And you had to double that, remember? You had to take that length of the side you found and double it to make it the full side of the polygon. Well, here's how this works. You ready? I have an octagon. It could be any polygon, okay? I chose an octagon because it was quick. But I've got an octagon here, and what I'm going to do is kind of break it down into its basics. Now, I'm not sure if you've recognized it as we've gone around, but if I make a connection to radius and people go, dude, it looks like spokes of a bike, okay? All these radiuses, they are radiuses, they're the same. Did you know that? That the radius, the distance from the center to the vertex, the sides, where the sides meet, the vertex of the sides, is the same all the way around the polygon. Central angle is 360 divided by the number of sides. In this case, it's 8, 45 degrees. Every one of these is 45 degrees. Did you know that? Did you know that all these sides are the same measure? Because it's a regular polygon? Right now, I've got 8 triangles congruent to each other because of side, side, side. Okay? You mean all the triangles are the same, Bloom? Yeah. In a regular polygon, they're all the same. So here's the shortcut. Instead of cutting it in half, finding the apothem, and then finding the side, I'm just going to use that triangle area formula, that 1/2 BC sine of A, where BC are the 2 sides that make the angle, and the angle is the included angle between the sides. So what I just had you do is an application. By the way, the short version of that is app. No way, application and app, they're connected. Okay, this is an application of that triangle formula. You take the triangle formula, BC are the 2 sides. In this case, we're going to call them R for radius. R squared, sine of A, our central angle, 360 divided by the number of sides. And how many sides do we have? N in a polygon. Now, once we do that, we have 1/2. R squared, it's like we're pirates, right? 7 is our R here. 7 squared, sine of A, we found A is 45. Times, how many sides do I have? How many triangles am I finding the area of? 8 of them. Pop that in your calculator right now. Verhoff, where are you sitting? Going left and your right. Thank you. So we're getting this done. Look left, look right. 0.5 times 49 times sine of 45, close the right parenthesis, times the number of triangles I have that area, 8 of them. Did you get 138.59? Pretty crazy, right? Do you remember how much work that was on Tuesday? You know why I like doing it today? And we're going to call these units squared. I like doing it today because now you can appreciate this is a shortcut. When you are given a radius value in a polygon, use this formula. It's got to be a regular polygon. It doesn't work for all things, just regular polygons when provided the radius value, you can find its area. Okay, you have to know how to get the central angle A. Okay, and you have to know R represents the radius, and you have to know the number of sides, N. Okay, now if you're given a side measure or a perimeter, you still got to do the sine, cosine, tangent stuff to find the apothem, and then put it in 1/2 ANS. Pretty cool, right? We just did a shortcut. Now, why I do stuff like that is, here's the deal. In your life, you're going to be given choice. You have plenty of choices how to do this. And people, well, which one do you do? Which one are you best suited to do? Which one are you fastest at? Okay, which one do you remember at the time? You have to reread your notes so you remember all of them at times. You apply the one that you feel will be most beneficial at the time you use it. Okay, coming back to our top of the page, I have an equation there that are 6 equilateral triangles. It's the start of doing this shortcut triangle thing with radiuses, because there is only one figure that has 6 equilateral triangles in it, and we're going to find an area of an equilateral triangle, multiply it by 6. That's what I have you doing. So please do it this way first. Okay, so go, take the time, get that done. So you're doing A. Four goes in for X because X represents the side length of one side, the length of one side of an equilateral triangle, and there are 6 of them in this hexagon. 4 squared is 16, divided by 4 is 4, 4 times 6 is 24, square root of 3. I asked you here to round to the nearest tenth. You plop that in your calculator. You probably come out with 41.57. That is not the tenth, that's the nearest hundredth. You pop that in down here as 41.6, that is the nearest tenth. Put it on units because you want no naked numbers allowed, okay? Now, choice, okay? Gosh, Bloom, you just showed us a shortcut for this. Even shorter than this is. Check it out. Today, at the start of class, you were given the area of 1/2 r squared sine of A times n, where n is the number of sides, that's 6. R is the radius, that's 4. Sine of A, which is 360 divided by the number of sides, is 60. Okay. People, well, what's the deal? Well, how's that different? It is the area of one triangle with an angle value with the radiuses of 4. This is 60, and there's 6 of them. It's the same answer. And people are like, no way! Yeah. Hey, there are more ways to skin a cat, okay? You can do the same job and people will do it a little differently and still get it done. Case in point. In section 10.3, we learned about the basics of area of a regular polygon, which really came down to area is equal to 1/2 ANS, where A is the apothem. In this, we have an equilateral triangle, okay? This is the 30-degree angle because half is 60. This is 30. So half of 4 is 2. This also is 2. And it kind of fits in there because the side length's 4 and half of it's 2. So it's totally golden. The long side across from the 60 degree is 2 to the square root of 3. That's my apothem, 2 to the square root of 3. Number of sides, 6. Side length, heck, we already did 4. Guess what? 41.6. No way, like 3 ways, Bloom? Yeah. To do this one. Generally all the other ones too. Okay? depending on what you're provided. Please be aware of what you're given because it's your responsibility to know what you're provided and to use the correct formula for each shape. That's the art of study. Okay? You need to recall and know where everything goes and comes from. That's where confusion comes in. That's where people go, I don't know why I'm not doing as well in this class as other classes. Dude, it's geometry. Look at all the vocabulary. Look at all the possibilities to do something. You have to make sure you know the difference. Okay, so now I have 3 ways to do this problem. I just showed you the new way in blue. Pretty slick, right? I like that one. But you can only do that if you have a radius in a regular polygon. If you're provided a side length like we are in 6b, or a perimeter like we are in the assignment, we must find side length, cut it in half, okay? Know the central angle, cut it in half, make the right triangle, find the apothem, and then plop it into 1/2 ANS. No other choices about that, okay? So let's do that. Let's do 6b. I'm gonna get rid of this other stuff. 6b. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10-sided figure. Find the central angle. 360 divided by 10 is 36. Am I given radiuses? No, I'm just given side length. So I'm going to construct my right triangle. Boy, that's some really bad drawing there. I'm going to construct my right triangle. Half of 6 is 3. That's that half side. Okay, so that's 6. I got to find my apothem. I know half of 36 is 18. That's my angle that I'm working with from my right triangle. I now can use sine, cosine, and tangent. In this particular case, specifically, I'm using tangent. So I'm going to use tangent to find A. Tangent of 18 is equal to 3 over A. A tan of 18 equals 3, and the tangent, A is equal to 3 divided by the tangent of 18. Hey man, I got A. I didn't write down anything else because N is 10, S was 6. I now know everything I need for area is equal to 1/2 ANS. Now, please be advised that when you do these problems, if you just give me an answer, you're going to be missing quite a bit of the points for the problem. I expect to see the work to support finding the missing pieces you needed, along with you writing down the formula, plugging in the numbers you're going to put in your calculator, okay? N is the number of sides is 10. S is the side length, which is 6. I expect to see those. People go, oh, why? It's not part of the answer. It leads up to it. It allows me to give you partial credit. If you don't put them in and then your answer is wrong, you had fat fingeritis, you calculator just kind of gave up on you, I don't know, and you got the answer wrong, but you don't have anything to show for work, I got to mark it all wrong. 3 or 4 points just right off the top because you decided, I don't feel like it. Well, that's all right. I'll mark them wrong, okay? But 1 wrong is better than 4 wrong. I know that. That'll make you feel better. Oh, I just missed 1, okay? Make sure you show your work. So as I get through this, is this 277? Actually, it's 276.99, right? And I round to the nearest tenth, so I go to the 100th, which is 9, and the 10th, which is 9, that goes up to 0, so it's got to go up to 277. So 277.0, that's the nearest tenth, and this is centimeters squared. Okay, now, I just showed you 4 different ways to find areas, okay? But they're always the same. If you're given radius, use the radius formula, okay? If you're given a side or a perimeter, you've got to do it the way we just did it. I don't care what size the number of sides are, you got to do it that way. Everybody's going, well, there's got to be a better one. Great, there's a formula out there you could probably derive, but it revolves around the information I gave you. But I want you to be a thinker when you do this. I don't want you to just kind of look for another formula. Formulas are really great only if you recognize the shape and you know all the pieces and where everything came from. Results on chapter 10A test proves that not everybody's happy with that because they just wanted to do enough to get by. Folks, doing enough to get by won't work as you increase difficulties. Please, 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 please have some personal responsibility. Get your stuff done. Okay? You guys are doing great. You really are. You just got to make sure you continue doing it all the time. Yeah, and you know, there are days I don't feel like doing it. I don't want to do that today. But that's a maturity thing. That you do it despite how you feel about it because it's the right thing to do. Let's say that again. Maturity thing. You do it because it's the right thing to do. Not because I feel like it or don't feel like it. Especially when I don't feel like it. I got to do it. Okay? So let's get on with what we've got today. You guys were supposed to watch a video, play around with some stuff. Let's see how that worked for us if I can get to that particular spot. And it's taking forever. Right now I've got some people, did you do it? I didn't do it. I didn't have time. You got a whole half hour. That's all you had to do. Okay. These are the ones I kind of did. Keep in mind my expectation. These are the last 6 pages in your notes. They're on the very last, go to the very back of in this page back 6. Count front and back 6 and we're there. Okay. Ultimately, you found out you were supposed to do the odds only. There are 27 odds. I did 12 of them. I expected after you watched the 16-minute video to do 15 problems, I believe. And people are like, that was it? Oh, I could have gotten that done. Yeah, you could have, but you didn't. Okay? Make sure you're responsible to get your stuff done. That's your job. And here's the thing that's really great. People who aren't doing well in classes aren't doing well in most of their classes. They're the same person. They're the one thing that needs to change. It's not the teachers. It's not the material. It's the person that's getting the information and choosing to do other things with it. Please make sure you recognize that and make the change. Come in, get help. Okay? We got all sorts of possibilities to do that. We have people choosing not to. Folks, in 2 weeks, I cannot make up 18. You got 7 weeks left as of today. 7 weeks from today is your last day of school. That's it. You're done. 33 days from today. 34 days from today, excuse me. Okay? We got 1 day off, and that is Memorial Day. We go straight through. Make sure you're responsible in getting your stuff done, taking care of your stuff. Okay? Any questions on 1 through 9? Remember, 1 through 7 I did in notes. Are you okay with 9? Make sure you're showing your equation, the numbers you're putting into your calculator, and your answer. And make sure you dress up your answer with the units. And suddenly, it's not looking like where I want to be. I don't know why it jumped, or if I didn't have it right. There we go. That's where I want to be. Once again, 11, 2.1 feet squared. 13, 1.96 feet squared. 15, 28 kilometers squared. 17, 36.6 centimeters squared. 19, 26.01 miles squared. And 21 is just multiple answers. I'll look at it. Yes, sir. Oh, some number. Let's see what we got. Oh, 1.96 feet squared, or multiply that by 144 and you'll have inches squared, because you had a choice to do it in feet or inches based on the start of the problem, because you've got to make sure that your units are the same when you do an area. Okay? Kind of slid that bad boy in just to see if you noticed. Okay? Are there any questions on this side of page 1? Okay, so let's go to page 2. Now, this is a review of our stuff. I did notes. On notes, I did number 1. I'm pretty confident I did that in notes. That's 1/2 ANS. And all of these are 1/2 ANS, by the way. Okay, so in problem 1 was 16 to the square root of 3. 3 was 696. 5 was 891. And 7 was 193.45. Here's the deal about problem 7. I didn't give you a picture. Mean old Mr. Bloom. He's horrible. Dude, you had to know what a pentagon was, five-sided figure. You had to know the apothem is that line that goes from the midpoint of the side to the center, and that's A in that formula, 1/2 A, N, S. N, the number of sides in this case, was 5. S was the side length, 10.6. And all you had to do is plug them in and multiply them, you get 193.45. But you had to know. And people always ask, Boom, what if I plug them in a different order? Multiplication is commutative. Order doesn't matter. Okay? Just so long as you don't have a fat finger itis attack, you're fine. Okay? Sliding on. Maybe, if this lets me. Okay? Yeah, it did. I'm just going to get rid of this because I was asked to do this last hour. Questions on 9, 1602.3. Okay? 11, 243, the square root of 3. By the way, that's 3 times 81, the square root of 3. Okay, incidentally. 13, 25, the square root of 3. 15, 1024, and 17 was 36 units. Any questions on the end of page 2? Now, keep in mind, this was last night's assignment. This was something that we were supposed to do. We were only supposed to do the odds. At the end of notes, you had like 15 problems. And it was all area stuff. You had to recognize the area. That makes it tough. Okay? Page 3. Wherever we are. There. Now, as we're going through on page 3, number 1 was 24 centimeters squared. I think I didn't do that one. But the formula, I'm using it right here. Okay? BC are the two sides that make the angle. That angle is called the included angle. What? Included? Yeah, it's included. It's made by those two sides. That's the included angle. And consequently, the reason why I said it that way is you're using the same formula on all 8 problems on this sheet, but you're only supposed to do 4 of them here on this one. Okay? It's all about 1/2 AB sine of whatever the angle was. Them words, those are the most popular ones people miss. They did everything else, they didn't do those. I don't know what words mean. Please make sure you're recognizing the vocabulary because it is a necessary evil on this test. Vocabulary rocks as always. Okay, now sliding on. Any questions on these? We're good? Moving on slowly. We have the perimeter stuff. The perimeter stuff. I did problem 11 in notes. Okay, there is no other way to do that shortcut wise. I didn't give you a radius on this page, okay, because I wanted you to work with the perimeter. I guarantee there's a problem like that on the test. I mean, let's not even be secretive about it. Okay, you'll be given a perimeter, you'll be given the number of sides, you got to find its area. Should be straight up, man. There's 3 problems here that we could practice with. Are there any questions on 9 or 13? Okay, 9 was 890.2. Okay, 11 is 1,612.2 centimeters squared, and 13 is 166.3. All of them are perimeter. All of them require you to take the number of sides, divide that perimeter by the number of sides to find side length. Then you take that side length, cut it in half. You find the central angle. You cut the central angle in half, and you are making your right triangle to find the apothem, and you're golden. Okay. That's it. Those are that's the pattern. Those are the steps to do these. Make sure you are successful with these. If you are not, I'm here tonight. Tomorrow, I'm here Monday. I don't know about Tuesday. Track got a meet on Tuesday next week. Anybody know? I don't know. But I know I'm judging. I'm starting to judge now because the weather starts getting nice. I tell Janan I don't come out until it's, guaranteed to be nice for me. I'm old. I get crickety back. Okay. Any questions? Now, that was your assignment, just a review assignment to be more successful from 10-1 to 10-4. You guys will get your test back next week, and I apologize for the dragging it around, but I got over 20% of my students that haven't taken it yet. That's why tonight and tomorrow is such a big deal, okay? Because people were gone for break. Now, the next thing, and if you're wondering, it is in your grade right now if you did take it. Notes are done. That first part of assignment stuff is done. I think we got to go to the 10-5 assignment and talk about that. So I got the 10-5 assignment. And I want you to be aware that that 10-5 assignment, you were supposed to just do 9 problems. Okay, in problem 1, you had 309. Let me get the other ones here. In problem 3, you had 1,211.6. Let's put that up. I had 1,211.6. Okay, and that is centimeters squared. I am just giving you the answers because I got news for you. If you just give me answers on this, if I just got numbers, I'm going to throw your assignment away because there's no flipping way you did it. You just copied this down. Okay, show your work. Okay, on 5, we're looking at 172 straight up, and that is inches squared. And 11, you got 54. Let's see, 27. Nope, I lied. 229.7, and that is meters squared. And then the last 3 were those triangle ones that everybody loves. Now I'm going to let you in on a secret. Problem 6, 7, 8, and 9 will work with the new formula. If you did 7 and 9 the old way, you are going to be so much happier. If you didn't, you will be blissfully ignorant for the improvement that that formula gives you. But when you're given radius, you got that shortcut formula. You have to know when. People go, oh, there's all these formulas you have to. Yeah, welcome to the real world. You got to study, okay, and get it done. People aren't going to be here to tell you how to use it and what to use. You got to know, okay? So make sure you're getting her done. Yeah. 3? Yep. So I've got 3. I've got a side measurement. So when I'm doing this, I've got to make sure I recognize I got to find the apothem. It's not a radius I'm going to use. So I've got to first count how many sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so I've got a 9-sided figure. 360 divided by 9 gives me 40. Cutting 40 in half gives me 20. People are like, why is he doing that? Because I've got to find the angle that I'm making here for my right triangle. And I got my apothem. What's half of 14? 7. So we got the 7 going. That's half my side. So this side is 7, so is that. So now I've got the information I need to find the apothem. Remember, that's my answer. And my apothem, find A. I'm just going to put that in there. I'm finding A here. And I've got the tangent of 20 is equal to 7 over A. A tangent 20 equals 7. So A is equal to 7 divided by the tangent of 20. Now I've got A. I got N, which, keep in mind was 9, and S, which is 14. So now I've got area is equal to 1/2 ANS. 1/2 of A, which is 7 tangent of 20. N, my number of sides, 9. S, my side length, 14. And I'm golden. I'm off to the races and plopping that in my calculator. Okay, less than a minute to do the problem. Okay, as we step through, as we get to know these better. And how do you become more successful and more smooth with them? You practice them. You do them over and over and over. Do them 5 to 7 times a day. You'll be really good. I'll let you do this. I can catch up on some whatever I got, maybe some reading. Okay. Now, are you okay with 3? Now, you ready for the difference? I'm going to do 2. So we got the answer there in 3. So let's talk about 2. 2. Hey, that's a radius. Yes! I got that new formula Bloom showed me. It's awesome. 1/2 R squared sine of A times the number of sides. I've got 1/2 R is 6 squared. It's sine of A. That's 360 divided by 5. That's 72 times 5. Totally done. Pop it in my calculator. What did it take us? 15 seconds? I even wrote down the equation. Holy cats. So we got, what, 85.6 feet squared. Are we okay? That's way better than doing the apothem and the side and forgetting the double the side and finding out my answer was like 42.7, right? Or 42.8. And I found out that it was wrong because I didn't double my side I was looking for. So we're totally golden on that. If you're given radius, you just use that. If you're given a side measure or a perimeter, you gotta find apothem. Okay? Any other questions? Feeling pretty golden? Remember, folks, and I know if those folks that are getting it done, and I'm talking for you folks, it's like preaching to the choir. Have you guys heard that one? Okay, when a minister's preaching to the choir's there every Sunday. They've heard it before. Okay, so preaching to the choir, I apologize. But for the folks that need it, make sure you recognize your job, your responsibility is to be successful so you can move on to the next steps, whatever those might be in your life. This is just one of the necessary steps, the drudgery step, perhaps, but it is something we have to do. Make sure you're getting it done for you. Not for me, not for mom, not for dad, for you. Because ultimately, at the end of the day, it's you that has to face you in the mirror and say, hey, I did 100% today and I got it done. Or did you? Okay. Thanks for today. Make sure you're getting today's assignment done, which is 2 through 16 even. That's the front side finished and the back side of this worksheet. Okay, go.